tell Detective Thorpe that on the Sunday at Cascade Skating Ring that you got Thug on FaceTime so Kel and Thug could speak? Yes or no?
If Detective Thorpe said I told him that, I told him that.
Okay. Do you remember that happening?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember. Me and Shea Kel ain't gonna talk.
All right. And then, do you remember telling Detective Thorpe, so him and Thug talked, and whatever was said with that, I don't know?
I probably told Detective Thorpe that.
Okay. And again, that was in your January 11, 2015 interview.
I guess.
Now, did you also tell Detective Thorpe about a shooting that occurred at a gambling house in Lakewood?
If that's what he said.
Okay. Do you recall a shooting at the gambling house in Lakewood? Do you recall a shooting at a gambling house in Lakewood?
No.
You do not?
I don't.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe in that same January 11, 2015 interview that there was a shooting over in Lakewood and that it was Kel and he was standing on top of a roof and shooting inside?
I probably did.
I need to know, do you remember telling him that or you don't remember telling him that?
When Detective Thorpe questioned me about what happened, I thought I was in there about 5 minutes. I thought I walked in and walked back out. So I don't know what I don't told him. I can't remember what I don't told him.
So you say you don't remember telling him about what happened
But if he said that I told him that, I'm telling you right now, I told him that. So can you start asking me what I supposed to told Detective Thorpe? Because I'm telling you now, if he said that I said anything about anything, I'm telling you, more likely I probably did.
Great. Well, I want to ask you about all the things that you talked to Detective Thorpe about. Did you also tell Detective Thorpe about the Friday before Nut was killed?
I guess.
Okay. On the Friday that Nut was killed, were you with Thug the Friday evening before Nut was killed?
No, you just said it earlier. Was I at the house? I said yes.
I'm talking about the Friday evening before Nut was killed.
I can't recall. Okay. I don't know what I don't told Detective Thorpe.
I'm asking you, what do you remember yourself?
No. When I think back about 2015, all I remember was getting a call saying that Nut was killed and I was responsible for it. And the only thing besides that is people showing up at my folks' houses. Details about what happened, all this stuff been blanked out my mind. Like, it been blanked out my mind.
All right. In that same January 11, 2000 interview, you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you were with Thug and you were at DJ Drama's studio.
I probably did.
Okay. Do you remember telling him or you don't recall telling him? I need to have it.
If Detective Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
And then after leaving the studio, that is when you went over to your girl's house, which would be Deshawn's house.
I guess.
Now, earlier I asked you about what time you left Deshawn's home to go to your brother's house. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you left Deshawn's home around 5:00 p.m.?
I guess.
When you say you guess, I need to know, do you recall telling him that or you don't recall telling him that?
If he said I said it, I said it.
And is that true or that not true that you left her home around 5:00?
If you notice something about me, I don't keep up with the time or the days. I just go with the flow.
So do you remember it being around 5:00 p.m. that you left Deshawn's house?
I don't know what time I left her house.
When you went to Mechanicsville, do you remember seeing anyone in Mechanicsville?
What you mean?
You said earlier that on the night before Nutt's murder, on the day of, you left Deshawn's house and you went to Mechanicsville. Do you remember seeing anyone when you went to Mechanicsville?
I don't remember if I seen anyone.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that you went to the green store?
I guess.
I need to know, do you remember telling him or you don't remember telling him? Or was that a lie?
Faces.
Saying he's allowed to answer, and they can't force him to answer in the binary one or two ways.
Your Honor, his response are non-responsive to my question.
I'm going to overrule your objection, sir. Thank you.
So do you remember telling him, you don't remember telling him
Do I remember telling him what?
that you went to the green store?
I probably did.
When you say you probably, I need to know yes, no, or I don't recall.
Whatever Thorpe said I told him, I told him.
Okay. Do you remember telling him that you met with Little Rick at the green store?
I probably did.
Yes, no, I don't recall.
You want me to?
Yes, sir, you may.
Yes, no, I don't recall.
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that while you were at the green store, you called Little D?
I guess.
Did you tell him? Did you not tell him, or you don't recall telling him that?
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Do you recall telling him that he told you he was on Cleveland Avenue?
I guess.
Yes, no, or I don't recall.
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Now, when you got to Cleveland Avenue earlier today, you said that Little D and You're right.
I think she's oriented to time and place. I'm going to overrule your objection, sir.
Earlier today, you said that Little D and Shannon got into your vehicle. Do you recall saying that earlier today?
I think I did.
Okay. Back in January of 2015, did you ever tell Detective Thorpe? Your Honor, now I'm impeaching.
I'll rule the question, sir.
Did you ever tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the vehicle with you and Little D back on the morning of January 10th, 2015?
If he said I did, I did.
I'm asking you, did you? Because you're saying today, you're saying the truth, and back then.
To the commentary.
I sustain the objection.
Did you ever tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the vehicle with you?
I guess.
Back in 2015, you did not tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the car with you.
Objection asked and answered.
I sustain the question.
In 2015, did you tell Detective Thorpe that only Little D got into the car with you?
I guess.
Did you say that to Detective Thorpe?
If he said I did.
Back in 2015, did you then tell Detective Thorpe that Little D told you that Nut just got killed?
Basis, sir.
Your Honor, do we address this?
I'm gonna overrule the objection, sir.
Confrontation clause as well.
Your Honor, we
Overrule, sir.
today you said that you and Little D never talked about the murder, correct?
Today I said whatever I told Thorpe in 2015, I was trying to get him out my face. So I do not know exactly what I have told him.
Today, do you have an independent memory of what happened on January 10th, 2015?
What you mean?
Do you have a memory outside of what you told Detective Thorpe about what happened on January 10th, 2015?
Basis, sir. I did tell me the basis for your objection.
Question. He already gave
I'm gonna overrule the objection, sir.
I'm going to object as to the answer, Your Honor.
Overrule, sir.
Wait.
So today, do you have an independent knowledge of what happened on January 10th when you picked up Little D?
Can you say that one more time?
Sure. Today, without remembering what you told Detective Thorpe, what is your memory of your interaction with Little D on January 10th, 2015?
I don't have a memory. What you mean? Like,
Okay.
I just know that I picked up Lil D and Shannon, and that's when I got the call saying that I supposedly did this and did that.
And in January 2015, you never told Detective Thorpe that you picked up Little D and Shannon.
I guess.
Earlier, I asked you if Moontook FaceTimed you. And did you say you did not recall if Moontook FaceTimed you?
I know he called me. I don't know if it was FaceTime regular. All I know was I remember what came out of his mouth.
And in 2015, in January of 2015, you told Detective Thorpe that he FaceTimed you.
I guess.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that or no?
Objection as to the answer.
Yeah, that's non-responsive. I guess it's non-responsive.
I'm gonna overrule your objection, sir. You can answer the question, sir.
I need to know if you remember or if you do not remember.
If he said I said it, then I said it.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that?
Objection, Your Honor, to the answer.
Overrule, sir.
That's not. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that he FaceTimed you?
I guess.
I guess it's non-responsive.
Your Honor,
Well,
I object to the commentary.
It's not responsive, Mr. Steele. I'm gonna overrule your objection.
Do you recall?
I don't know what I told Detective. I don't remember what I told Detective. Whatever his name is.
Thank you. So you don't remember if you told Detective Thorpe that?
I sustain the question is to come out.
Now, do you remember back in January 2015 giving Detective Thorpe Moontoon's phone number?
I guess.
I guess it's non-responsive.
Your Honor, that's not a problem.
Overrule, sir.
I need you to respond. Do you remember?
I don't remember. I don't remember nothing I told Detective Thorpe.
All right.
So that's my response to every question you about to ask me. If it have anything to do with me speaking with him. It wasn't in my right state of mind. I don't have a clue.
Well, you have to bear with me because I'm going to have to ask you the question specifically. You can just
Okay,
say,
you
I
can
don't
ask.
remember.
I just saying.
Prosecutor, he's not.
Mr. Steele, overruled.
Do you remember today what Moontuk's number was back then?
Back then when?
Back in 2015.
No, I better know my phone number now.
All right. Do you remember giving him the number 404-662-8935?
I guess.
I need to know, do you remember or you do not remember?
Yeah, I did. I don't.
Do you remember what kind of car that Moontuk dropped you off in to take you to the police department on January 11, 2015?
I don't know. I don't know if he. I don't know. I don't know if he asked me. I don't remember what I told him.
Okay. Do you remember saying it was either bluish, grayish Malibu and it was rented?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember telling him that?
Yes, I guess. Yes.
Earlier today, you said that you went down there because the police called you. Do you remember saying that?
You're repeating previous testimony.
Overruled, sir.
Do you remember saying that earlier today?
That's the only way I went down there.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe, I was asking everybody, should I go down there, bro? Because I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You can look at my phone records, but I didn't do it.
Yes.
All right. Yes, you remember telling him that?
If he said I said it, yes, I said it.
I need to know if you remember telling him that. All right. So yesterday, we left off talking about your interview that you did on February 20th, 2015. Going back to the incident in which you, your girlfriend at the time, and your child was being shot at, do you remember seeing any of the individuals who shot at you?
I never saw no one that shot at me at that time.
Do you recall in that interview a period of time where the detective left the room and you were speaking with your girlfriend and you told her that you knew who shot at you?
I never saw nobody. I never saw who shot at me. If I saw who shot at me, I would never told the police who shot at me.
Do you recall in this same February 20th, 2021 interview that when the detective left the room, you said to your girlfriend, this shit not gonna work. Sit right here and be a damn snitch, so I'm gonna keep going. Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall.
Okay. And then she responded, so, you're right, it'll be effect on the listener.
Overrule the objection, sir. Overrule, sir.
So what you're saying is, why you acting like you did? And she said, you should have just said, no, I thought you know all of them. And you said to her, I do know who it was. Do you recall telling her that?
I know that I knew the camera. I knew that I was being recorded, so I kind of knew what I was doing.
Okay. And then you said, I saw him. I did when he jumped out the car. I know exactly who I saw.
Nobody never got out of the car, so this clearly proved that I knew what I was doing.
Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall what I told her.
Okay. And this was when the detectives had left the room.
I don't recall if they left the room or if they stayed in.
Do you recall further in the interview when the detectives asked you whether or not any of the people who did this had ever been to your home, you instructed your girlfriend to tell the detectives who had recently been at the house?
I don't recall what I told them.
Do you recall the detective asking anybody you let come over to the house recently that normally ain't been by there, and then you told Deshaun, tell him who been there. Do you recall that?
If I brought anybody to my house, I'm 100% sure they know not to play with me.
Okay. Do you also remember when you and your girlfriend were in the room by yourself, you told your girlfriend it was Tay and them who did this to you?
I don't recall.
Was it Tay that shot at your vehicle?
I don't believe so.
Do you recall in that same interview being concerned about being labeled a snitch?
I don't care about what I'm being labeled as.
Let me ask you this. During this time when your home was when you were being shot at with your daughter and your then girlfriend, how many other family members' homes have been shot at that year?
Objection calls for speculation and hearsay.
I'll sustain as to speculation. I will overrule as to hearsay from Mr. Steele.
To your knowledge, how many of your family members' homes have been shot up back in 2015 after Nut died?
Objection relevance.
Overrule, sir.
I can't recall.
Do you know? Okay, let me ask you this. Was your brother's home shot at?
No.
Okay. Was your girlfriend's mother's home shot at?
Yes.
Okay. Was your sister's home shot at?
Yes.
Was your grandmother's home shot at?
No.
Did you think you were being retaliated against?
Huh?
When all the shootings were happening at your family members' homes, did you think you were being retaliated against?
I didn't think.
Did you know?
Clearly.
Okay. Why were you being retaliated against?
Because people said I killed Nut.
And do you know who was doing the retaliation?
No.
Do you recall telling detective in the same February 20th interview that it was a whole gang after you?
Anytime the investigator talked to me, I do not recall what I have told them.
So you don't recall telling them that it was a whole gang after you?
I would told them whatever I think that I need to tell them to convince them to stop watching me.
Was there a whole gang after you?
I don't know.
Was the entire IF gang after you?
I seen a few of them, so I can't say that.
Which were the ones that you saw?
I don't know.
Earlier, I asked you about whether you were concerned about being labeled a snitch. Do you recall telling Detective Copeland,
Detective who?
excuse me, Detective Copeland, Detective Curry,
Now I'm a detective.
or was it? I made a mistake. I'm talking
Correct.
about Detective Mr. Copeland. I'm about to ask you a question. Do you recall telling the detective, I know if I tell you what's going on, they're going to be on records and all this here, and you're going to get him locked up, and he's going to get his discovery package. First thing they're going to do is send it to 2 places, to the street and to prison, and float it all around the city of Atlanta and then all around prison. But my name's over that. I'm not going that way. No, I'm not going through none of that. Look, they shot at me, my girl, and my baby. Almost shot my face off as we were running. I'm not for sure, but I thought I heard one of the bullets hit the car seat or graze the car seat. Were you concerned about snitching in this interview?
I was concerned trying to get my story together, so I was trying to buy time.
Did you also tell in that same interview, I just know the trouble I'm putting myself in. Just know I don't want to have nothing. I don't want to have nothing, man. I can't go to no job. I can't do none of this shit. I know the street not going to be here forever. All things going on right now, just waiting on you niggas to catch up and kill me. Again, not wanting to snitch on who did this to you, your child, and your baby.
My only motive was, anytime the police questioned me, was try to figure out how could I get myself out of it. Anytime they asked me any questions, I was trying to, if I couldn't come up with no answer right then and there, I was trying to buy time to think of something to say.
When you met with Mr. Curry, weren't you going there as a victim of an aggravated assault? When you went to go meet with the detective that's in that picture,
Okay.
weren't you going to talk with him about being a victim of a crime?
No, I was shooting back. So I thought they were going to try to lock me up for shooting back.
But during the course of that interview, were you made aware that they weren't planning on arresting you because you were protecting yourself?
When they said they would take me downtown, I put my hand behind my back and told him, you going to lock me up? Come on, get it out the way now.
And did they ever lock you up?
Because he wanted the gun. So he gave me 24 hours to give him the gun. When he let me go, I didn't come back with the gun. So they sent the SWAT team to my house to get me.
But when you went the first day, did they ever put handcuffs on you?
Because they wanted the gun.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
You hadn't answered the question. Overruled.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
One of the officers pulled him out, and he told him we don't need that.
Okay, so they never put handcuffs on you?
Overruled, sir.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
I don't think so.
Okay. And when you left the interview, did you leave that interview without any handcuffs on you?
Yeah, I left. I went back to the streets.
So again, when you went in this interview, you were not in trouble.
I was.
Objection on
Basis.
statement of testimony.
Overruled, sir.
Were you arrested at all on February 20th when you went to go speak to the police about being shot at? Were you ever arrested that day when you went down to tell the police about what happened to you, your child, and your girlfriend?
They locked me up the next day.
I asked you, were you arrested that day?
No, they locked me up the next day.
Were you arrested that day?
Objection, Your Honor, arguing that it's an asked and answer.
Overruled, sir.
Were you arrested that day?
No.
Did you want the police to go and find the people who actually killed Nut so that people would stop retaliating against you?
Yeah.
Do you recall being asked by the detective, you knew one of them. I know you knew one of them. Your face tells the story. Now, out of all the ones, I mean, you might know the other ones, but I know you know one of them because the face tells the story. Because the face tells the story of somebody being close that you trusted. And your response was, it ain't that. The truth is, I wouldn't say that person because I'm not 100% sure, but I know only one person.
What's the base of your objection, sir?
Foundation, predicate.
Okay.
Predicate transfer.
All right. Foundation and predicate. I'll sustain the objection. Go ahead and rephrase, madam.
Did you know at least one of the individuals that were shooting at you back in February of 2015?
On my daughter's life, when that car pulled up on me, all I saw was a gun come out the window. They said, I never seen no one face. They was questioning me. They constantly kept telling me, you gonna let dudes shoot at you and your kids and this and that. And I'm telling them, and they won't believe me that I'm telling them, I didn't see nobody's face. I didn't see nobody's face. And then after a while, I got tired of them asking me, so I don't recall if I just went ahead and said, yeah, I seen Tay, or I don't know how it came out, but in my heart, and still to this day in my heart, I do not believe Tay had anything to do with me getting shot at.
Okay. Do you recall telling your girlfriend when it was just the two of you, I did when he jumped out the car. I know exactly who I saw.
I don't, at that point, it was so much pressure on me. Yeah, my daughter crying, trying to take her to the hospital. Somebody pull up on me soon. I'm trying to figure out what made me have the gun to go to the hospital. It's all type of stuff going through my mind. I don't know. Too much going on. Yeah, I can't, because she keep asking me these questions and...
Mr. Copeland, just take a breath, okay? We do need to take down your testimony, so you do need to speak a little slower, all right? Okay?
All right.
Are you? Can we continue?
I don't got nothing else to say.
About which part? Regarding the gun that you used to shoot back at these individuals, who were you going to give? Which police officer were you going to give the gun to?
Huh?
Which police officer were you going to give the gun to?
Neither.
Okay. Who did you tell them you were going to give the gun to?
Whichever one they were asking for it.
Do you recall them telling you needed to give the gun to Gaither?
I don't recall. I know they said they want that gun. It's part of the investigation. I knew it was a trick. I told him if he let me go, I go get it and bring it back. He went for it.
And why didn't you get the gun?
Huh?
Why didn't you go and give them the gun?
You know, it helped him lock me up.
At any point in time, did you ever get arrested for shooting back at those individuals?
Thank God.
You're saying that, or you don't remember?
I don't remember. I don't remember when they was questioning me. Whatever I said, I don't recall what I said.
Okay.
It was just I can't repeat what I said because I just said what I said.
And what you told them, was that the truth about what happened that Monday at Club Crucial?
I told them whatever I said to them is what I told them. So when they asked me questions, whatever I thought I wanted to say, that's what I said.
Was it the truth, or were you just making stuff up?
I don't recall what I was telling them, so I can't answer that.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither in a little more detail that you walked up and you tried to dap up Kel, but he did not grab your hand?
I'm not walking up there, nobody up.
Do you remember saying to Detective Gaither, so they walked up, like, is it good, bro? I'm like, yeah, all good. I reached out the other hand, but he didn't grab my hand.
I don't recall saying that.
Okay. Do you recall seeing an individual named Pokey at Club Crucial on this same night where Kel punched you in the back of the head?
Okay, let me make myself clear, right? Because you keep asking me about things I don't told investigators in the past. I can't say from when to when, but so much was going on. My name was on everything. The police kept coming to grab me. Every time they grabbed me, I had a different story for them. I know 100% facts, and I'm telling you now, I was not truthful. I was saying whatever they wanted me to say. I was saying whatever I could come up with. I was trying my best to convince them that I didn't do nothing, that I'm an innocent person, and that people put their hands on me. When they ask me about any of these things, you sitting here keep asking me step by step by step by step. And I'm telling you now, because you asked me, was I being truthful?
Okay.
I know I wasn't being truthful.
So is your testimony today that you lied in every interview that you did in 2015?
See, you the way you asking that, I don't recall what I was saying in the interviews, but I'm telling you now, when they was questioning me 2015, 14, whenever they was questioning me, I was lying. I was making up stories. So when they were asking me about this right here, I was making it up. When they were asking me about this right here, I was making it up. And when they was getting me and they were letting me go, I'm just telling you.
Do you recall telling every detective?
Every time they got me, I have told the police, I tell y'all whatever y'all want to hear, just let me go.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview You got to believe me. I'm telling y'all the truth. Okay.
That sound like me.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you can go fact check what I'm telling you?
Say that again?
Sure. Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you had in 2015, you can go check what I'm saying so you can believe me?
Probably. I don't know if I said it or I ain't said it.
In some of those interviews, were you in custody? Were you arrested in some of those interviews?
I think so.
Okay. Do you recall telling detectives in those interviews that you're just trying to get out of jail, so I'm going to tell you all what happened so you can check it and I can get out of jail?
Yeah, I told the investigators that I remember, I think, in one of the interviews, they was locking me up and my child's birthday was coming up. And when they got me, I said, listen, man, whatever y'all want me to say, I would tell you right now. Just tell me what to say and I would say it. Tell me what y'all want to know and I would tell you. So if they would have asked me about President Trump, I would have had a story about Trump. If they would ask me about you, I would have had a story about you. Whatever to convince them that I ain't do nothing, it wasn't me. That's what my intentions was. So you're asking me about interviews, and I keep telling you, you keep asking me step by 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 step. This is what I did. When they got me on this day, and I was going to jail, I try to come up with something to tell them. That's why I can't tell you what I said. I was making it up.
What benefit would it be for you to lie to the police if you were trying not to be in trouble?
I was hoping to convince them so they could let me go.
So why would you lie to convince them?
What you mean? Why would I lie to convince them?
Right. Why would you lie to convince them if you wanted to not go to jail?
Why would I lie to convince them to not go to jail?
Right.
But they don't know that I'm lying.
Well, they didn't let you go immediately, did they?
Sometimes they let me go.
Right. But
So when the time they let me go, I thought I was smarter than them.
did the detective say that they had to fact check what you said before they let you go?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Did the detectives tell you that they had to fact check what you were telling them?
And you know, in certain situations.
Right. And so what benefit would it be to lie if they told you that they had to fact check it?
Oh, it was no benefit because what they did was they picked and choose what they wanted to take from me, and they still left me in jail. So they came back and beat me in the butt.
Okay. So going back to my question from January 28th, 2015, did you see Pokey at the club?
You want me to be honest with you? I think I just did. I just told you the God honest truth of what I did from January from 2014 until 2021. Every time they got me, they already know me. They already know I got a whole bunch of bullshit to say.
Ever heard of 30?
You said, have I ever heard of 30 deep?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's 30?
What you mean?
How have you heard of that term, 30?
How have I heard of the term 30 deep?
Yes.
Can you ask me in a way I can understand?
Sure. You said you've heard of 30D. You said you've heard of it, 30D.
I know about 30 deep.
Okay. What do you know about 30D?
What you mean? What do I know about it?
Tell the truth. You said you know about 30D. What do you know about 30D?
You hearsay the whole number of problems with that question. I object.
I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Is 30D?
Objection to leading.
I stay in the objection.
I haven't asked the question.
All right, you can go ahead and rephrase, madam.
What is 30D?
My neighborhood.
Is 30D a gang?
Huh?
Is 30 Deep a gang?
Is it a gang?
Yes, sir.
And what you define as a gang?
How do you define a gang? Or do you, let me strike that. Is 30 Deep a group of individuals?
Meaning,
You said 30 Deep is your neighborhood.
yes, it's my neighborhood.
Okay. Is 30 Deep a group of people in your neighborhood?
No, it's just, I don't know.
Is it a group of people from your neighborhood?
I just know my neighborhood, I was growing up, I used to hear 30 Deep a lot.
And when you heard of 30 Deep, what did you understand it to be? What was your understanding of it?
It was cool.
And when you say it was cool, what do you mean?
Like, I thought it was cool. I just see and heard people say 30 Deep.
And when you saw and heard people say 30 Deep, were they talking about people together?
Overrule, sir.
Speculation.
I'll stand that.
When you heard people talk about 30 Deep, what was your understanding of what they were talking about?
I heard the rapper say, and his song 30 Deep. I don't know. I heard Gucci Man rap about it. I heard like Jeezy rap about it. I don't know.
Have you ever been a member or an associate of 30 Deep?
I don't know what associate mean.
Have you ever been around a group of people who identify themselves as 30 Deep?
Have I ever been around a group of people that identify themselves at 30 Deep?
Yes.
I know someone who I guess they say was 30 Deep.
Did you ever consider yourself 30 Deep?
No.
Okay. What about, did you ever consider yourself part of DRC?
No, I consider myself 372.
And what, is that why your Instagram was Woody 372?
My Instagram, Woody versus Woody.
Back in 2014, did you have the Woody 372 Instagram?
I told you I don't recall the Instagram. Back then they had several fake accounts with my name in it, but it wasn't mine.
You said you consider yourself 372. What was 372?
It ain't for you to know.
I'm going to ask you again, Mr. Copeland. What was 372?
372.
Was that a gang?
What do you define as a gang?
Mr. Copeland, I'm asking a question.
I can't answer your question if I don't know what you're talking about.
Was it you and a group of people a part of 372?
And what's a group of people?
3 or more people.
But yeah, but it wasn't no. We didn't hang on it. Like we wasn't. I guess.
Do you remember in February of 2015 talking about 30 Deep?
Objection.
Yesterday, did you tell myself and my colleagues, Ms. Love and others, about Little D and Shannon being in your vehicle the night of the murder?
Huh?
Yesterday, did you tell myself, Ms. Love, and a few of my other colleagues that Little D and Shannon were in the car with you the night of the murder of Donovan Thomas?
I told you and them that what I told investigators in June, when Nut got killed, something different because I was trying to finish my way out of a situation. So I said, I picked up D and Shannon. D never told me nothing. I made it up to clear myself up. And that's it.
And was that yesterday that you said that? Did you tell us that yesterday, what you just said?
You asked me to be truthful. And I didn't, and I told you. What I told the investigator back then wasn't me being truthful. So I'm telling you something that I didn't tell them because I ain't trying to go back to jail.
I got it. But I asked you was yesterday. The first time you said this part, and now what you're saying today is what is truthful. What you're saying right now, what you're trying to tell the jury right now, is what you are now saying is truthful.
What I'm trying to tell you is our conversation was about something that I said in the past.
I understand. I'm asking you.
I asked that Mr. Copeland allowed to finish his.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I thought you was up.
Mr. Copeland, you need to finish your answer,
No,
sir?
I need a break, Your Honor.
Say again?
I need a break.
You need to use the restroom?
No, I need a break. Like, I need a break.
Sir, it's not time for us to take a break at this point in
Well,
time.
okay.
Okay? I mean, unless you need to go to the bathroom or some other reason, we're not gonna break at this point in time.
Do you need a few moments? Was yesterday the first time that you told?
Your Honor, I asked Mr. Copeland to finish his answer if he was still.
I don't think he's finished. I think he's finished, Mr. Steele. So I'll overrule that objection.
Was yesterday the first time that you told anyone from the state that what you said back in January of 2015 was a lie? And that you were trying to finesse your way out of what you told them back in January of 2015?
I told that to the investigators when they was questioning me at a certain point.
What investigators?
Y'all questioned me so many times, I don't know.
Back in 2015, did you go to the police again on January 11, 2015?
I'll sustain the objection.
Did you also go to the police on January 28, 2015?
I don't know no dates, but if you know that if I went to the, you could just say it.
Did you also go and speak with the police on February 20th, 2015?
If that's what it say.
And what about on February 21st, 2015?
If that's what it say.
And then what about on June 10th, 2015?
If that's what it say.
Let me ask you this. In your interview on January 11th, 2015, do you recall your girlfriend's mother's home being shot up?
Was it?
Do you recall it? I'm asking, do you recall her mother's home being shot up that night after Nut was killed?
I don't know if it was the same night or the next night.
Do you also recall that the stepdad's house was shot up that same evening?
I will object to.
Basis.
Meeting hearsay.
I'll sustain this to form. You can rephrase me.
When the young thug's stepdad's house shot up the night that Nut
I don't know.
got killed, When you went to the police on January 11, 2015, did you go there on your own?
Nope.
Did the police come and get you to go to the police station, or did someone drop you off? Multiple.
They,
I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Did you voluntarily go down to the police station that night?
no, I didn't volunteer. He called me.
And did he tell you you had to come down there, or did you decide to go down there yourself?
Well, he told me to come down there, and people told me to go down there because
You're on.
Is there an objection, sir? And just state what it is.
Nothing. Still talking.
Okay, let me see if he's finished his response.
Were you there?
Mr. Copeland, are you finished? Or do you need to say something else to complete that last question you were asked?
yeah, I was just gonna say that I was told to go down there and speak with the police.
Okay, all right.
Do you recall in 2015 telling law enforcement officers that you were calling to get advice on whether or not you should go down and speak to the police because your name was coming up in the murder?
Can you say the first part again?
Sure. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe in his January 11, 2015 interview that you were calling around getting advice to decide whether or not you should come down to the police department because people were putting your name in the murder?
I don't know. I know when he called me, didn't know what to do, so that's why I was told to go down there. 'Cause-
Are we finished?
yeah, I'm finished.
Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe in that same January 11, 2015 interview that people told you not to go down there and to wait till the police called you? But you wanted to come down so you could clear your name?
You said, did I tell him that?
Yes.
I guess.
In that January 11, 2015 interview, was Thug in that interview with you?
Huh?
When you went to go speak with Detective Thorpe on January 11, 2015, was Thug in that interview with you?
Right.
What you?
Basis.
Have a motion.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, can you step outside for just a second? Ladies and gentlemen, jury, can I get you to step in your headquarters just for a minute, please?